this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, July 25th, 2022, and I can hardly believe it's almost the end of July. This is the last full week in July here coming up, and plans have gone pretty well for July, but by my next video, it'll be August already, so that's crazy. Here for my weekly cross-stitching update. I got everything done that I wanted to. I felt like I had a good amount of stitching time this week, so that's always nice. First off, I got some wonderful Stitchy Kindness, which is also helping out another small business. So you may already know Rolanda Duick, is that your last name? Over on Flosstube. She's also a stitching addict on Instagram. Her and her mom have an Etsy shop called Eliza's Fantasy Bags, and they sell project bags. They sell stitching companions, which have little pockets for your floss to keep with your project, needle minders, a bunch of things like that. So she wanted to send me a few things to try out, and I got them this week, and they're so pretty. So I kind of squealed when I opened this because it's just like, it's so me. Maybe I'll just show you. It's all together. This is a really big project bag, has a handle. I don't know that I have any of these vinyl front ones with a handle. It's quite large, has this pretty pink swirly fabric. It's quilted, so it's nice and thick. And look at this teapot and teacup print. That's so perfect. I love teacups. I drink tea every day. This is perfect for me. So they really nailed it. So thank you, Rolanda. The little goodies that were inside is a little needle minder. Yeah, and here's her business card, Eliza's Fantasy Bags. She's on Etsy. They're based out of Canada, but I believe they will ship a variety of places. I got one of these little floss rings, I guess. Maybe I can find a project and use the Susie floss tags I got from Kaylee and put them on this ring I got from Rolanda, and that'll be fun. This is one of their Stitchers companions, and I love this. I have a plan for this already, so stay tuned. But it's got a little ribbon that keeps it shut, and then when you open it up, it's got little vinyl pockets to put your bobbins in. Let's grab a few bobbins, shall we? From my Under the Sea club. I'm so excited about this. You put your little bobbins in there. And then you have, this one I think has 30. So a decent sized project, or decent amount of colors for a project. Some things I've found with sometimes with kits, I'll like to use a floss card, but it's hard to find a floss card with enough, like a fancy floss card with enough holes for the amount of colors in a project, because I like colorful projects. So this is great. 30 is a nice number. She also threw in a needle threader, so that's always fun and appreciated. So thank you. I'm so excited to try these out and in some upcoming projects. And she also sent something, offered something for you guys. So in her shop, she has a code that she's going to give out to everybody, and it's Stitchin Mommy for 20% off everything in her shop. So that's exciting. So I will put that up here while I kind of tie this back up. And I believe it's good whenever. So just use the code Stitchin Mommy with, remember, no G in Stitchin, and you'll get 20% off your order. Really nice bag, has a handle, and this is a good size. So like, here's my pattern. It's, you know, a lot would fit in here, I think. And I'm not a Q-snap user, but I'm sure a decent sized Q-snap would fit in here. So, and I think they probably have, oh yeah, and it has a little thing here to attach something to. So that's fun too. So yeah, you could probably fit a decent sized Q-snap in there, but I wouldn't know. I don't have any of those. So anyways, thank you. That was really fun. And their packaging material was fun too. Nice. Okay, so what I worked on this week, let's start with travel stitching. I finally got to my Wander With Me Sunday afternoon. This is my current year temperature piece I'm working on. And there's also a dog version. Each little heel pad or toe pad is a different day of the year, representing the temperatures. So I only did one little paw this week. So not a whole lot of difference, but here we are. This is on 27 count Linda in Vintage Country Mocha, 1/1 full cross. And just this little paw here, nice and warm. 100 or 101, 102, 98, things like that. But it has been slightly less hot this past week. It's been in the 90s only. So the next paw will be not quite so flamin'. So definitely summertime. It's fun to keep up on that. I do want to get back to that window, but I didn't have as much time to stitch on this week. So at some point I'll go back and finish the window and the little bird outside the window that the cat would love to watch. I also managed to get some time on my butterflies, which is one of my newest temperature designs, but this one I'm stitching for 2002, the year we got married, so it's 20 years ago. And I'm behind on this one, but it was nice to get caught up. We went to the park a couple times, so I was able to work on it there while my kids played. So this is 32 count, 1/1 full cross on this mystery gray green even weave. And I just came in here and filled in some more little patches. So that's fun. This is April of 2002. Yeah, no, January, February, March, April, May. This is May. So that's good. I am behind. I was hoping to keep caught up, but it is nice to, I'll spend time on this as and when I can, and hopefully sometime this year I'll get caught up again. Haven't gotten too many warm colors yet. This one had some warm colors, but so far I haven't done any in that one. I think there are some, just haven't gotten to them yet. I'm stitching one color at a time on that one per butterfly, since I have all the colors ahead of time. And I did a little bit on my Frosted Pumpkin Under the Sea Club. And this morning we got the newest release, which obviously I haven't done anything on, but I have what it looks like now. So this is by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, called Under the Sea Club. Down here, I do toner save mode, so you can't see it that well, but it says Under the Sea. And this is the new part with some puffer fish, these little fishes, these fishes, and a diver. So that's cute. So far, 3 little people. This is a mermaid, not really a person, I guess. So I'm working on this part right here. Super cute. So I'm a little bit behind because I don't have that part finished yet, but maybe when school starts and I have more time in the car stitching again, that might be a time to get caught up on some of these travel projects. So here is where this one's at. This is 25 count, kind of medium blue, even weave, 1/1 full cross, using all my own colors, except for the color of this water that's called for. So I got the octopuses done, except for their accents. There's like some white accents on their heads and eyeballs. All of these little critters have black eyes, so I figured I'd wait until they're all done to do the black eyes. I got these little fishes stitched, and then these seahorses, I got the main color on each one stitched, but there's some accent colors as well. And then I can go in and do the eyes and the bubbles and all that stuff. So it's close, but not done. And then there's also the words down here for that part that I haven't done yet. So plus all the new stuff that just came out today. So I've got lots to keep me busy on that one. I like to work on this on Fridays when I chat with my sister. but it's not that much time, so I can't stay caught up with only doing it then. But I've been distracted with other projects right now, so that's all right. I'll get back to that in more frequency later. But this summer it has been more simple. My plans have been more simplified, and so some of these travel things are only getting work occasionally, and that's okay. I also worked on my anniversary sampler. Not really a sampler, but it is for my anniversary. This is by Soda Stitch, By the Window in the Morning, and I had this as my like bonus stitching in the afternoon to do about 1 thread a day. I don't think I ever did more than one when it was my bonus stitching. However, I got my whip go goals done a little bit early this week, so I spent all of my stitching time on Sunday working on this, which was really helpful to get almost the whole couch stitched. So that's exciting. I'm going to keep using it as my bonus stitching this week, so we'll see how that goes. Here is where this is at. This is 18 count. I think Devosa in like a beige color. Two strands over 1 fabric square. It's like an 18 count even weave. And as you can see, the couch is mostly done stitched. I have like from here over is all done stitched, and then I have some white still I need to fill in right here. And then I can bring some more back stitching down, which will be fun. Then there's floorboards and mugs of tea and slippers and things like that down along the bottom. That will be really fun to work on. So I'm excited to keep going on this one. I am still aiming for an early August finish, so I'll do it as travel stitching this week. And then I'm thinking, I'll talk more about August plans at the end, but I'm thinking these first 3 days, I will also work on this exclusively, like all my stitching time on these first 3 days. So it's kind of my thought to try to get it knocked out at that point. And again, if I finish my Whip Go project goals this week, like this past week, I finished what I needed to do on Saturday and got a nice stopping point. I figured let's spend the whole day Sunday working on this, and that was really nice. So I'm hoping to maybe do that again, to spend Sunday and then Sunday through Wednesday working on just this to get it finished. So might not be enough time, but I can always continue to work on it as my bonus stitching for the next week after that, and still won't be late. So let's see. Let's go back to my July. Make sure I didn't do anything else like different. I think that's all my like random projects. And then I had my 2 main projects were my Whip Go goals. My second Fancy Lady draw for the month of July was Enchanted Alphabet by Lavender and Lace. And I was talking with Dawn over at Frosty X Stitch. She was asking if she thought it would work to take the girl out, because she's always kind of admired this piece but didn't really like the girl, and that's always put her off. And this past week I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't feel like stitching the girl because I have like these letters finished, so I could either go this way and do more letters or go this way and work on the girl. I'm like, I don't really feel like working on the girl. When she suggested that, or asked about that as a possibility of what I thought, I kind of feel like doing that too. Taking the girl out, moving these letters over so they're almost touching. This little bunny is kind of underneath the V, so I think there'll be like a little space right here between the P and the M to put the bunny right there instead of the girl. And I think it would fit a little better than it fits right there. So that's kind of my idea. I might try that. So next time I work on this, I think I might do that. I have the bird already and I don't mind that. I just feel like there's a lot of white and gray stitching in there, and that's not that fun. So if I take her out, I think it'll be great. And I don't really want to convert her either, because then she might compete. If I make her colorful, she'd compete with the letters. I just like the letters too much. So I'm kind of with Dawn on this one. think I might take the little girl out. If you want to see, Dina Half Stitch Cross Stitch just recently worked on this in one of her recent videos, and she is working on the girl, and it looks super cute. So if you want to see it with the girl, you can head over and look at her channel. But I was actually pretty happy with how far I got on this. I got my Whip Go goal on my Fancy Lady projects, or Fancy Lady adjacent, and is 3 days. I ended up with 4 days because a couple of the days were not that great, and I had finished a letter on Tuesday, so I still needed to work on it a little bit on Wednesday, so I ended up going into the next letter, but then I didn't want to leave that letter not finished, so, so I worked on it again a 4th day to finish the 2nd letter. Overall, I'm really happy with my progress. This is what I think is 46 count Society Time linen, 1/2 full crosses, all the DMC that's called for, and it's all wrinkly, I'm sorry. So, excuse me, I did the J and the I, and I think it's so fun. I love working on this with the play of colors. There's like 3 different colors in each shade, or 3 different shades in each color, so it's fun to see how they play together. And yeah, so I'm thinking I'll pull the other letters closer here and then have the bunny here, and I think I'll like that better because I just enjoy the letters. I don't really need the whole little girl in the white and gray dress that goes on forever, so I will enjoy this much more if I take that out. So yeah, super pleased with my progress on that one. It works up pretty quickly because the letters are thin. They're usually only like two stitches wide in the different areas, maybe a little more sometimes, but, and there's like ornate and cute, and you're switching colors, so it keeps it fun and interesting. And then my Fancy Lady, not my Fancy Lady, my full coverage Whip Go project, which is my last, no, this is my first full coverage Whip Go project for July, because last week I worked on one from June. So this is Mini Elegant Lady with a Bouquet by Emile Vernon. And this reminded me, if you're in Pattern Keeper, they just came out with a new update. And I think it's rolling out, so you may or may not have had it already, but they have a new feature in there where you can go in and click. You go in to edit the pattern info or something when you click on the little 3 dots, and it gives you the choice to make the mock-up your little thumbnail in Pattern Keeper when you're scrolling through what you have in there. And something like this, like, because normally they were taking the first page of your pattern, which would be this, and so you'd have all this white space with a little picture. And some of them are even worse, like a bird song, you know, it's really tiny, you can't see it very well, so then you would take the mock-up instead as your thumbnail, and then it's bigger. It's really fun. So I went through and did that. So anyways, this is, I did 1,246. So a little bit more than I might sometimes, but I was working through the end of Saturday and I wanted to get to the end of the design, which I did. So here is where I'm at with this one. This is on 25 count barley vintage cloth that I got at the Fat Quarter Shop. And this is a 1/1 full cross. Really enjoying this. It got all the way to the other side. This is the very edge, and I believe all of the stitches in the top row are finished. I did the typewriter method where you go top to left to right, top to bottom, choosing symbols, and then stitch them wherever they happen to go. And then when your thread runs out or you run out of symbols that are nearby, then go back and pick the next symbol, left to right, top to bottom. That's what I mean by typewriter method. And as you can see, the colors went from darker to kind of lighter. So it was really fun to work with those colors. There's blue, grays, and greens, and very pretty colors. So you can see her hat bows all the way over to here is like the edge of her hat bows. So yeah, pretty fun. So next time I bring this out, I can come back over, and that will be my first stitch because I finished everything on the top row. So left to right then would come back here pick that symbol and do that wherever it goes, then I'd get to work on some bow colors that are in right there because they're in the second row. So pretty fun. So I'm really happy with the progress I made on that. And since it was fairly quick stitching. I had a lot of time as well on, let's see, Saturday, I think. Friday and Saturday, I had a good amount of stitching time. So that helped for sure. Spur me on to get the goal finished quicker. But I definitely felt like, okay, I can be done with that for now and do more on my anniversary piece. So that's what I did. So going forward, I have 2 more projects to work on this week. One is going to be a new start I'm very excited about. For Christmas in July, I haven't really done any Christmas stuff so far. Maybe it's not in there yet. I thought this would be a fun thing to work on this month. Okay. All right, this is Magic of Christmas by Nadia Strokina, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a quite large design. It's 700 by 625, so it's not for the faint of heart. And there's probably a good amount of confetti just because there's so many details. There's a Christmas tree back here, sweet little girl, sweet little kitty. There's some birds outside the window watching the snow. There's a candle and a present. So excited about this. So because it's so big, I am going to stitch it on 40 count 1/1 half stitch, and this is French lace linen. I'm very curious to stitch 1/1 on linen. I've done it on even weave, 40 count Verdal even weave, and I love it. I was Candace Love Lover Stitches. I don't know if she still makes videos, but she took my idea and kind of ran with it and used linen on some of her pieces and said she likes it better. And I'm curious because this is Witchelt linen, which is stiff. I think that might be really good for a half stitch project. So I'm excited to get this started. This is literally a fat half, 27 by 36. So it's a big one. I think I'm gonna need most of this for this piece. So I will double check the measurements, but I think I'll have to use the whole piece with no extra cut off for any other projects. So, but I'll be working on that today, which is actually the 25th. So I think it's only like 5 months until Christmas now, because the half birthday of Christmas is actually June 25th. So I've never understood why we do Christmas in July when the halfway point is in June. But you know, whatever. I'll roll with it. But I figured the 25th made a lot of sense. So I'll work on this today, tomorrow, and the next day. They're half stitches, so I'm hoping I can get 1,000 stitches on my new start, which I like to do for these full coverage new starts in the 3 days. It's possible I might not make it because it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which tend to be my busiest days of the week. And it's got a lot of confetti, or at least it looks like it will. So, but I'll do what I can. So it'll be good to see how far I get. And then Thursday through Saturday or Sunday, depending on how quickly I can meet my goal on this one, I'm gonna do African Woman with Peonies, which was my second full coverage start, or WIPGO call for the month of July. This is by Artisy, and it's not as big as a lot of Heaven and Earth Designs. It's only 250 by 196, which is a decent size. I think with this one, I've also made it all the way across using my typewriter method, so I'll get to kind of come down and pick some new colors, which this one also, like the Enchanted Lady, goes up, touching a lot of these elements touch the top pretty closely. So that'll be fun to get into some things. And this one I'm still debating. I bought this last time I showed you, Hidden Harbor. I really want to start that. So I have to figure out when, because I got too many things going on right now to start it, but it's happening. I don't know when, but it's happening. I'm trying to think of what fabric and all of that, but it's on the back burner, but it's happening. So here is this one. And I believe this is the full width as well. I've got extra here. I think it was leftover fabric from something again with the Fat Quarter Shop. I think this is 25 count. I I think this is a 25 count vintage cloth as well. I just can't remember the color. I will put it on the screen. This is a 2/1 half stitch, not full cross. So I think that will help me get to my goal a little bit faster of 1,000 stitches. And yes, I do have some more to do in the second row. So like right in the middle here. I think some of these colors will be my next symbols to choose. And it's cool because I have a lot of things already started. So you can see a lot of the flowers are coming in. Her head wrap is already started here. So that's fun. Yes, and I believe Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and Denise over at Black Ribbon Stitch Studio, they're both working on this, and I think may also work on it this weekend with me. So that's fun. Yeah, so that'll be fun to see how far I can get on this one. It's really fun. It's small, and which helps it make, you can see the picture come to life a little quicker than some that are really big. But it still seems to have a decent amount of detail, so that I like that. Okay, that was short and sweet again, but I don't think that's a problem. Smokey wasn't in here today, but a lot of you enjoyed seeing her yesterday. So remember, the coupon code at Eliza's Fantasy Bags, Stitchin Mommy, is the code, and you get 20% off anything in the shop. And yeah, so I'll be working on those 2 full coverages, and then my anniversary piece will be a bonus stitching and possibly on Sunday for the whole day. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to continue to plug away on that one, and I really enjoy full coverage, so I'm just excited about that. Oh yeah, plans. I was thinking about August already, so I don't have a lot going on in August. I started Arbitrary August about 4 or 5 years ago. You guys, my viewers, helped me come up with the name Arbitrary August, so thank you for that. But it's basically started out to pick random projects. At the time, it was every day. I picked a different random project. So I had put all my project names in a bowl and drew them on like a vlog style and different project every day. That was the original one. I have since done a variety of things throughout the years. I always come back to something, some measure of randomness for some measure of the month, for some measure of my whips. It's not always been the original, but because I'm doing Whip Go this year, I don't have the freedom to do something month-wide without getting really far behind on Whip Go. And so I don't want to do a month-long, all-consuming Arbitrary August, but I can probably fit it in for part of the time. So I have like 3 possibilities that I'm thinking of at this point. So I'm thinking of doing like blocking off these first 3 days to try to finish my anniversary piece, and then these all 3 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays can be my Whip Go projects. Whip Go number 1, 2, 3, and 4, which leaves me with 4 days, including the weekends, so Thursday through Sunday, free for Arbitrary August and or Sampler of Stitches, which I want to get a little more like caught up on again. One option is to do 4 Arbitrary August projects. I have a list of all of my whips that are not on my Whip Go boards, and so those are the ones, if I've not yet worked on them this year and they're not on my Whip Go board, those are the ones I would choose from. So I could choose 4 and have one each weekend, Thursday through Saturday, and have 3 days on each one, and then spend all the Sundays on the drawn thread, Sampler of Stitches. Another option is to do like 2 every weekend, do, one Arbitrary August draw on Thursday, Friday, and 1 on Saturday, Sunday. And then I'd end up with 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different Arbitrary August picks. Another option is 1 on each of these days, so 12 Arbitrary August picks, and still continue to do the drawn thread Sampler of Stitches catch up on all 4 Sundays. So vote, how about, in the comments. Should I keep it, like try to get more progress on fewer random projects, or a little bit of progress on more projects. That's really what it comes down to. So if I have 4, 8, or 12 arbitrary August projects, and I have more than that I haven't worked on yet this year. So not counting these new starts down here, everything that doesn't have a check mark, I haven't yet worked on in this year. So there's a lot up for grabs. And so I kind of am leaning towards the 12 project one, just so they get some attention this year. There's always the risk because it is summer and school starting in August. So, you know, life is busy. There's always the possibility that I won't get very much time on something and I'll draw it and I won't get very much progress. But at least it's gotten a little bit. So what would you vote for? And I'll use that to help me make my decisions because it's coming up real fast in one more week. So with that, I will leave you and hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your July, and happy stitching. Bye.